Hello everybody, welcome to the channel and welcome to a first look at a brand new tent which I purchased yesterday, which can, yeah, it's not exactly a big tent. And here it is. This is the OEX Phoxx 1 version 2, which I purchased yesterday from Go Outdoors for £49.99. Admittedly, that was on offer. The prices will fluctuate in future, no doubt, but I thought it was a great bargain at £50. As you can see, it is a very small, low-profile tent, great, ideal for wild camping, and for those of you that maybe want to travel on your own and don't want to take a lot of kit. There is only one door on this tent, but I do like the colour green on this one. It blends in far better than on my Van Gogh Banshee 200 and 300 Pros. Those ones are kind of luminous, although I know that the new Van Gogh Banshees, the colours do blend in a little bit better. But yeah, I like this tent a lot. I love the colour. The inner goes up first and then you throw the out up. I did actually set this up last night, but it was a little bit too dark for filming at that time. So I slept in it last night, had a little bit of a try in it. It is definitely longer. There's a little bit of space either side, but you're only talking maybe a couple of inches. I will show you inside in a moment. And I did notice when I rolled over in bed, the fact that my elbow hit the light on the ceiling. That's how small it is. So if you don't like confined spaces or maybe get a little bit claustrophobic, then this is definitely not the tent for you. But for me, as soon as I close my eyes, then all that sort of space thing goes away. As long as I can move around in the tent and get in and out all right, then that's fine by me. So I'm going to show you inside. Before I show you inside the tent, I want to show you what it's like from my viewpoint. This is at eye level. I'm 5'9", 5'10", and yeah, as you can see, it's a very, very compact tent. Now I put a gym mat down here just because it's the middle of November. We've had a lot of rain. Obviously the grass is wet and I'm going to be kneeling inside. So if you're going to be considering buying this tent, I do suggest you get some sort of sit pad or kneel pad just to be able to get in and out. Otherwise you're going to find that your knees get wet ever so quick. So the tent on this side has one entry and exit door, which is pegged here and here. And it's the same on the inner tent as well, pegged there and there. Entry to the tent is just via this one door, as I said. Now, I slept in here last night, and as you can see, there is just enough room for one pad. That's it. There is no room for two people in here whatsoever. Now, I've got my Trekology A-Luft 2.0 pillow, and I've got a A-Luft pad as well, just to demonstrate the size of it. Now, there is maybe 2-3 inches either side, but that's all the room you've got. There is a door on the other side, but it doesn't go out at all. It doesn't go out and let you exit the tent. You only come about halfway, and it just gives you a little bit of a vestibule to store your kit bag or your shoes, something like that. As you can see, very, very compact. I've got my little light up there, which I kept catching with my elbow last night. And behind that, you can see that we've got a ventilation port at the top. And then, if you go down the bottom, there's another one there as well. So yeah, I'm going to zip this back up again. As I say, it is compact. If you're at all claustrophobic or don't like small spaces, then this clearly isn't the tent for you. But I did find last night that as soon as I closed my eyes, it didn't really become a bit of a problem at all, only other than knocking my light off. There is the ventilation at the back, as I said, and you just see that that's pegged open to allow a stream of air to go through. We've got the little name at the back as well, OEX Phoxx 1 version 2 from OEX. And then we've got that ventilation port again, just from this angle. So there we go. I like the colour green. I think it blends in better than my Van Gogh Banshees, that's for sure. On the whole, I'm actually quite impressed with it. And I'm going to show you now the tent without the outer tent on, the outer part. And that's because maybe you live in a climate where you don't get a lot of rainfall, or there's a forecast where you know for a fact that you're not going to get any rain. You could just sleep in this without the outer. So I'm going to show you that next. Right, well, I've zipped the tent back up and I'm just going to show you how quick and easy it is to remove the outer. I've got these little clips at the front, a little bit like you find on a rucksack, one either side. I tend to find I use another peg just to pull the pegs out. No peg extractors required here. And then that can be taken off. So this is the tent without the outer up. You can see the entry door on this side, and you've got this small door down the other side. Now the beauty of having this like this is the fact you can open these up. There's no way to attach that at all, so unfortunately you're left with it like that, which is a bit unfortunate. And there we go, it gives you an idea, a better idea of the inside space. As I say, a one-person tent, definitely not a two. You can sleep in it, but that's all. Now there was a little bit of condensation last night. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it is definitely a little bit wet on the inside. So it's a good idea just to let it air, or alternatively with a tent of this size, if you get any condensation when you get home, you can just hang it on the line. And let nature do all the hard work for you. And then we turn our attention to the inner part of the tent, closing the door up. And we'll do the same where we hang it up on the washing line. Got a couple of little clips on the back, one on the front, either side, two on the back again. And then take your pegs out, two at the back. Two at the front. And then we've got a pole at the front. And one at the rear. Then just take the inner and then hang that up as well. Yeah, there's a little bit of mud on there to be expected, but that'll dry, and if not, I'll get a damp cloth and dry it off with a towel. So there we go, that's my very first look at the OEX Phoxx 1 version 2. For a tent that's under £50, I don't think you can really go wrong, as long as you're not going to be someone who's going to be claustrophobic or requires a lot of space. Obviously this is only a first impressions video. I'm not going to give you a full review until I've tried it out either at a campsite or wild camping, but at the moment first impressions are the fact that it's very good. I think the quality could be improved in certain areas. I noticed there was quite a little bit of sag on the inner part of the tent. But other than that, at the moment, I'm rather happy with it. For £50, you can't really expect a great deal. And this is a low profile tent. So if you are going to be going wild camping, and with that colour green that blends in really well, you are going to be discreet. So for that, I think it's a great purchase. The pack size, which I'll show you now, I've just got the tent off the line. It's beginning to spit of rain, but I've dried it off with a towel just to speed along that process. But I've got everything in here that's included with the OEX Phoxx 1 version 2. In here you get your pegs, your poles, the outer and the inner tent. There is no optional ground sheet that you can lay down first that you can purchase for it. So everything is in here to get you started. Now, pack size, I would say, is probably about the length of a ruler. I could get this pack size down a little bit smaller. When I purchased this yesterday, it was a fraction bit smaller, but obviously, you know, when you purchase a new tent, they are literally packed within a millimetre. You know, there is no extra space in there. And this is the first time I packed this back into its rucksack, so probably with a bit of practice I could get this a little bit smaller, but size and weight I think is great. So it's a nice addition into my pack size for the future. Yeah, I'd say 30 centimetres by about 12 centimetres. That's the pack size that it is currently. Something I want to add about this tent as well that I think needs to be said is the fact that at the moment it's mid-November, the night's drawing in, it gets dark around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and doesn't get light again until about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Now, if you're going to be in this tent where you are predominantly just going to be laying down, you can't sit up in that tent whatsoever. That's a long time to be laying down. Now, if you're at a certain age like I am, your back tends to stiffen after a few hours and you want to get up and you want to stretch your legs a little bit or maybe move around the tent. With a tent of this size, you haven't got that option. So realistically, I would say that this tent is more suited for spring, summer, and possibly into autumn when the nights are a little bit shorter, because the last thing you want to be doing is laying down and feeling like you want to get up and stretch your back and you can't. I do like the colour green. I think it blends in really well. So this is great for people who are going wall camping, and also as well for people who are doing campsite camping who maybe just want to travel a little bit lighter, reduce the amount of kit that's in their car. I've done it myself. When you go to a campsite and the whole car is full, this is a great addition if you know the fact that you are going to be just laying down for a few hours and just using your tent as a shelter to sleep in. First impressions are pretty good, actually. I'm rather impressed with it at the moment. So there we go. But yeah, I will do a full review this time next year on this OEX Phoxx 1 version 2, and I hope you'll join me for that. If you found this video in any way helpful, please consider liking, leaving a comment and subscribing to the channel. It helps the channel no end. I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope to see you again in the next one.